Hello, this is Deborah Cohen, a story and a song wishing you all a happy new year. And unfortunately, this is the time where people get colds and get the flu and like to pass it around because, whatever because. But so anyway, somebody sneezed on me and, oh, Eva boy, and I'm overcoming a horrible bout with chills and all that happy stuff. So I thought I need to boost my antioxidants. And I started thinking about, let's see, what do I have on the shelf? Antioxidants. And then I remembered I had a bag of hibiscus flowers, and it's been years since I've made Karkade, Egyptian tea, and it's loaded with antioxidants. So I thought I would talk a little bit about it and give you the recipe at the end of the talk in case you're interested in drinking Egyptian hibiscus tea, loaded with antioxidants. It's cranberry-ish and very tart. So, you have to like tart things, but it helps if you're nursing a cold or the flu because of the antioxidants. So, if this interests you, then stick around for the next 30-ish minutes, and I will be right back to tell you about Karkade. And this is Deborah Cohen Music and Books. And I want to share with you this special Egyptian drink when I've visited Egypt several times in the early 2000s. One of the wonderful things in generally speaking, Egyptians are very hospitality minded and they love to give you things. And one of the things is the hibiscus red tea. It's delicious, especially cold when you're in a hot country like Egypt. And it's always stuck with me. And I was so impressed with the whole experience that of course, I had to buy a bag of hibiscus leaves and make the tea at home. Because if you try to buy it in America already made, chances are it's watered down, loaded with sugar, and it doesn't taste anything like it does in Egypt. So, because I've been in Egypt, I'm going to share with you the authentic recipe at the end of this conversation. So, let's talk about hibiscus tea. Yes, it's known as Karkade in Egypt. It's a quintessential Egyptian hospitality drink, offered hot or iced as a refreshing welcome in homes, hotels, including the Four Seasons, and restaurants, prized for its vibrant red color, tart flavor like a cranberry, and potential health benefits like antioxidants and blood pressure support, often sweetened and served with mint or lime. And I put a sprig of mint from my garden in my drink, but it is in there. If you have it in a restaurant, they have it like on the top so you can see the mint. But mine sunk into the glass, but it tastes delicious. Okay. It's made from dried roselle hibiscus leaves, often with mint, as I mentioned, or lime, or even tamarind. Naturally tart and tangy and refreshing, with a flavor often compared to cranberry, a symbol of Egyptian hospitality, offered to guests as a sign of welcome and a staple in a local cuisine. How it's made, this is simplified, and then I'll go into the actual recipe. Steeped dried hibiscus flowers in hot water, sweeten to taste, often with sugar or honey. Strain out the flowers and serve. Now, that's an abbreviated version. I'll give you the details after I read this little excerpt about being in Egypt and where you can find this delicious tea if you're already there. This is an article thanks to virtuoso.com, and I'm going to read it and share it. Cairo's long, beautiful history with hibiscus tea. This flower is tied to ancient tradition in Cairo, but it's also the star of some of the city's most delicious and modern cocktails and desserts. After a sweaty morning of hiking at Cairo's Saqqara Pyramid, I am convinced that a glass of chilled hibiscus tea in the shade was one of the most refreshing beverages I'd ever had. And that goes for me too. After riding a camel in Cairo and feeling all hot and sticky and sweaty, I was so glad to get a glass of cold hibiscus tea with a fresh sprig of mint. It was so incredibly satisfying. It tastes much better in Egypt than it does right now in America. Okay. Its bright red color provided a note of drama at first glance, a spectacle that lingered after the slightly sweet, slightly tart drink was gone, leaving a light red tint on my tongue. Hopefully not my teeth. Though it remains a traditional brew through Egypt, hibiscus tea has evolved since ancient times, when Egyptians first planted the flower along the Nile River and in the Fayum oasis, about an hour's drive north of Cairo. Ancient Egyptians believed that red hibiscus tea inspired lustful acts in women, so they forbade them to drink it. And while travelers won't see much hibiscus blooming around Cairo today, it grows more abundantly farther south near Aswan. They will find Kareens sipping vibrant tisanes in tea shops across the city, along with chefs and bartenders taking the iconic flower to a new level on their menus. It's really exquisite. For centuries, many locals have begun their day, especially during Ramadan, with the traditional hibiscus beverage called Karkade, a blend of hibiscus flowers, water, and sugar. When the cranberry-esque drink is offered at restaurants, locals often wax poetic about the flower's healing powers. It's an antioxidant, and it's been said that when sipping it cold, it may treat high blood pressure, it might boost liver health, it might support good cholesterol levels. I'm sure you'd have to drink a boatload of it. Traditional Karkade is generally served as a welcome drink at the city's hotels. Available hot or iced at most Egyptian restaurants, and is a favorite of the tea vendors lined up along Cairo's 15th May Bridge. I would recommend cold. It's even more tart when it's hot. For sampling of hibiscus' more creative uses, start at the wildly popular Zuba in the Zamalek neighborhood, where Chef Mustafa El Rafai elevates traditional Egyptian street food in a no-frills environment. And my favorite sandwich is falafel. Most people come for his legendary falafel, bursting from its pita and lathered in a gorgeous beet hibiscus tahini, a great compliment to the restaurant's puckery hibiscus limeade. And it's puckery, all right. I mean, I don't have the lime in there, but I've got the mint. Lip smacking, puckering good. With its natural tartness, it's not surprising that chefs are also getting creative with hibiscus in desserts. Hunting for hibiscus treats in the lively Zamelek neighborhood is a sweet endeavor. Start at Gelato Mio, home to a well-balanced Karkade gelato that has locals lining up on warm nights. For Egyptian street food, the team at Cairo Kitchen, a spot known for their street food, has been experimenting with Karkade jelly atop mahalabia, a traditional Middle Eastern milk pudding. And farther afield in Levin Square, Sus, it's S-U-S-S, pastry serves tle leche or leche cake drenched in a tangy hibiscus sauce. I'm getting all puckered up with this tea, trying to read these words. Oy vavoy. Okay. Bartenders are getting into hibiscus too. At Cinco, a sleek cocktail bar in New Cairo's Swan Lake development, travelers enjoy drinks such as the Cairo Half Flip, which is young whiskey with fermented hibiscus, in a candlelit environment that feels like it could be anywhere in Amsterdam or Manhattan. Across town, the cocktail to order at Sachi's Park Street's rooftop bar is the Heliopolitan, an Egyptian take on a cosmopolitan made with hibiscus kombucha. Kombucha. Okay. A proper Egyptian introduction to hibiscus is easy to bring home too. That's what I did. Pick up dried hibiscus flowers in central Cairo's Khan el Khalili marketplace. That's where I got mine. After exploring the souk, rejuvenate with a cup of Karkade at the nearby Naguib Mahfouz Cafe, a tribute to Egypt's Nobel Prize-winning novelist. Then gear up for your next delicious adventure. Okay, so do I have you wanting Karkade yet? I hope so. So after this brief message, I'm going to share with you the recipe. So I'll be right back. Try this one. All right, here I am again, Deborah Cohen, and I'm talking about this Egyptian drink, Karkade in Arabic. It's a hibiscus tea. It's got a lot of antioxidants in it, which I am drinking now to overcome a cold from somebody coughing on me in a public place, which there's a lot of Americans in this country that are not considerate of other people. They come to meetings sick and cough and sneeze, and I don't know why people do that, but wear a mask, okay? I mean, that would be like the ultimate consideration, to keep your cooties to yourself. All right, so let's get on with talking about the ingredients for hibiscus iced tea, garnished with mint. Get out your trusty pen and write down the recipe, unless you have a wonderful memory. All right, you need to have, let's see what the ingredients tell me here. Starting out with 10 cups of water and 1 cup of Karkade flowers, which you can see in the picture right here. Get my finger to point there. That's a picture I took yesterday making this, of dried hibiscus leaf flowers. plus a half a cup of sugar. Note, if you prefer it sweeter, try 3/4 cups, but I would start with a half and add more to taste. Excuse me. The equipment you'll need is a large pot, a large pitcher. Make it glass, because if you use this tea and you put it in anything plastic, it'll color everything, that including your countertop. So you got to wipe it up right away. It's like a dye. It stains everything. Okay, get a measuring cup, fine mesh strainer. I would also recommend, because there's little pieces in the tea, using cheesecloth. So I lined the strainer with cheesecloth so I don't get any sticks in my drink. And then a long spoon. So, like I said, bring 10 cups of water to a boil in your large pot, and take your measuring cup full of hibiscus leaves once the water boils, and pour the leaves into the boiling water and boil it for just 2 to 3 minutes. I boil it covered to get more of the flavor in the water. After 2 to 3 minutes, you're going to turn off the heat and move the pot off the burner, covered, and let it sit there for 15 minutes. If you let it sit longer than 15 minutes, it's going to be even more tart. So the first time you try it, I'd say 15 minutes is plenty. All right, after 15 minutes of steeping, then you're going to carefully pour the tea through the fine mesh and cheesecloth into your strainer, which goes into a glass bowl or container. Make sure it's glass. If your dried hibiscus is very fine, you may want to line the mesh strainer with cheesecloth. Yeah, that's what I did, because I had pieces in it without the cheesecloth. Okay? Be careful when transferring the hibiscus, because it stains almost anything it touches very easily. Try and make sure to use glass and metal for anything that touches the hibiscus. Don't use plastic or wood or anything porous. Wipe up any drops on your counter very quickly, because it will stain your counters. Then, once you've strained it all, pour half a cup of sugar into the liquid using a long spoon or ladle. Rinse the spoon off immediately to avoid staining the spoon. And in the picture, which I have mine in a pitcher of a glass pitcher, that's ideal to store this, not plastic. Let the tea cool in the pitcher until you can place your hand against the side of the glass without burning yourself. Then place the pitcher covered in the refrigerator for a few hours to cool. Once cool, taste the tea. If it's too concentrated for you, then feel free to dilute it with a bit of water to taste. Then mix it again. Remember, you can always add more water, but you can't really take it away, so start out real slow with the adding of water. Keep in mind, if you serve the tea over ice and the ice melts, it will also dilute the tea even more. Serve plain in a glass over ice and garnish with fresh mint leaves for a mild, refreshing, accentuating flavor. And I'll show you this picture, see if you can get it. It's really, I can't get my camera to focus, but yes, there it is. So there you have it, Karkade tea. Enjoy it as we endure the winter months of people with their germs. Yeah, you guessed it, I'm a germaphobe, right? I'm like, so, I used to be a school teacher, and the Center for Disease Control give teachers, if you ask, free posters in Spanish and English for this country, predominantly. And, it shows cubrete el toser. So what does that mean? It means when you sneeze, people, don't sneeze into your hand, and then you're going to extend your hand to shake somebody. Everything you touch, you're spreading your germs. Don't do that. According to the Center for Disease Control, you sneeze into your upper garment and have a tissue handy, or sneeze into a tissue. But how many can grab a tissue when you're ready to sneeze? You're scurrying for a tissue and they're like spraying it all over everybody. Please don't do that. Please be considerate of other people. We don't want to be sick. If you're sick, you should stay home. But if you can't, because I understand, sometimes if you're the only breadwinner, you got to go in. Man yourself up or woman yourself up with lots of tissues, lots of lozenges, and sneeze, cubrete el toser. Sneeze into your upper arm, please, and be considerate for those around you so you don't make them sick. Drink lots of Karkade, and I hope that this helps a little bit. It just really annoys me when I see people sneezing and they just achoo. I'm like, no, not in your hand. Then you want to shake my hand. Oh my, boy, get away from me. Where did you learn germ control? Okay, never mind. All right, so let's I got a new memoir coming out here, January 9th, and it's about my life as a new wave rock and roll chick in Boston in the 80s, and how I took a lot of detours through life, and I share it with people to learn about this new term for people like me that are wired differently. They're called neurodivergent personalities. Now, the term was not familiar in the psych world in the 60s, but it's quite revelatory to understand yourself from that perspective. So I dedicate in my memoir a chapter specifically to what a neurodivergent personality is and how to treat them, because a lot of times being misunderstood, you get abused for being different. And that's been a common thread all throughout my life. And it's unfortunate because people are unaware of what a neurodivergent personality is. So my book will tell you. Here's the ad. I hope you will get the book. You may be able to find it now, some places as an ebook, and learn about people that are wired differently than you.
If you grew up when TVs first filled our living rooms, when the world began to change, this story starts right where you did. In a lavender bedroom, singing Beatles and Olivia Newton-John, a young girl dreamed her way out of chaos. From new wave clubs to blues stages, she chased the music that saved her life. But the music was only part of the journey. There were retreats, miracles, and moments that felt straight out of the scripture. Across oceans in Egypt, she searched for identity, faith, and healing in the most unexpected places. For anyone who's ever felt too sensitive for the world, this memoir understands you. Healing doesn't come overnight, but forgiveness and faith open unexpected doors. Raw, musical, spiritual, unforgettable. Discover sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Coming soon in January 2026. DeborahCohenBooks.org.